Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Froggy Friday! Okay, so what's better than frog jewelry? Neon watermelon frog jewelry. That's right, neon watermelon. It was kind of by accident, but I end up loving the neon watermelon theme and I kind of run with it. I'm starting out with plain white Sculpy 3 polymer clay, and I do need to condition it first so that it's soft enough to use. I'm doing that here. I had originally wanted to do strawberry, but when I laid down the colors, it totally said watermelon and not strawberry, so I just ran with that. I do end up getting my pasta machine out. After I roll it out, I realize that it's not very even in thickness. I definitely wanted it to be more even, and the pasta machine helps with that. I send it through on the widest setting the pasta machine has. I feel like this goes without saying, but if you use your pasta machine for polymer clay, please do not then use it for pasta. That would not be a good idea. My first go around with using the cutter, I did not do anything to make sure it didn't stick. And in order to get it out of the cutter, I had to poke it and it made little divots in it. So I went to plan B. Plan B is cornstarch. You can apply it to the cutter or the clay. I chose to eventually apply it to the clay. It worked like a charm. Since polymer clay doesn't dry out until it's baked, it gave me a really long working time, and I didn't have to worry about it drying out when adding the cornstarch. When I pull these up, I'm able to pry a little bit of the cutout itself from the side of the cutter, and it just comes right out. Froggy Friday is a weekly amphibian collaboration hosted by several amazing channels. As always, the playlist will be in my description. Don't forget to watch the other videos. I wanted to try using the neon pigment powder to color these frogs, and that's what I did at first. It worked out okay, but after I baked it, the colors were more muted than I wanted, so I actually went back in with paint. But I probably should have just baked them as is and then added the paint later. Next time, I'll be doing that. I played around with making some polymer clay flowers, as you can see over there. Just ignore those. I don't use them in this project. In fact, I haven't used them for any project because I really don't like the way that the pigments colored them. I'm trying to mimic the way watermelon looks with the rind on it. And of course, I'm being sort of loose with the colors. You don't typically find neon pink watermelons in nature, but I really wanted to run with this. And in order to make sure I get the lighter part of the rind, I just don't put the pink right up next to the green. So there's a little bit of the plain white showing, and I really like the way it turned out. These are just neon acrylic paints that I used. They're honestly kind of crappy paints. They're sort of translucent and I do have to do several coats, but they did the trick. You can see in the upper right hand corner, those are nail stands. Those are created for making press-on nails. But they work really well for stuff like this when you have something smaller and you don't have a good way to hold it without either messing it up, or if it's just too small and you can't really get a good hold of it, these are perfect for that. The backs of the Froggies end up just being plain pink. I could have taken the watermelon design all the way around, but I just wanted the backs to be the plain pink. And this is neon pink glitter mixed in with clear UV resin. I did that with green as well, and then also white. And I will be using this to color over the painted areas to match. I don't know if you've noticed the boo-boo that I made with these, but I didn't put any holes in them. So I had to come up with something, some way to make sure I could get a jewelry finding attached. And I ended up using eye hook pins, so they had the little loop on them. I cut off the excess and I used more UV resin with the glitter in it and attached them to the back. This is also a great method to use on things that aren't meant to be used for jewelry or keychains. It's a way to create a loop to hang something when it doesn't have that to begin with. That is just clear UV resin. I'm laying down a coating of UV resin on these to seal in the clay and also make it a little bit smoother. How cute is that flower mold? I got that off of Temu and I love it. Here's that fine point Arteza marker I was talking about, and the clay cutter has details on it where it doesn't cut through, but it does make an indentation. That is a hard word, indentation. Anyhow, I wanted to go over these sort of debossed areas with black acrylic paint so that I could highlight them. And this is partly why I wanted to smooth out the surface to make the paint application a little bit easier. These little smiling frogs are so cute. Now I'm applying the UV resin and glitter mixture over the corresponding colored areas. I did go over the white part with the white glitter. Totally can't tell, so in the future I won't be doing that. It's a waste of time. I'm just using really small micro brushes to apply this glitter. My True Crime and Crafting tumbler makes another appearance there. Seriously, if you haven't seen that video, you should go watch it. That tumbler was a lot of fun to make, and I use it all the time. It even has a glow-in-the-dark handprint. You don't want to miss the technique I used in order to make that. These are UV resin and glitter hearts that I made, and I'm going to be attaching a jump ring to the butterfly backing that will hold the frog. So the frog will actually be behind the ear while the heart is in the front. I really like using this method. It's just a little bit different and pretty fun. And I do put seed beads at the top, even though this part of the earring really won't be seen because it'll be behind the ear. Still, I figure you want it to look nice, right? So I put a pink, a white, and a green seed bead on there. I love this. It's so cute. One thing I didn't like about them was the color of the hearts. I used the pink, white, and green glitter and UV resin mixture directly to make them, and they were sort of darker than the frog, and I realized that's because the frog was white to begin with. So I re-poured some hearts and I used the clear UV resin, and here I'm going in with a very thin coat of white UV nail polish from Madam Glam, and I give it 2 thin coats of that. Now I'm just going back over it with the green glitter and the pink glitter. I don't remember if I did the white glitter or not on this. I guess we'll find out together. I want to do a final flood coat of clear UV resin just to make these nice and level. And I really didn't feel like dealing with putting a coat on and then having it not quite go to the edge, and then I have to do another coat and be really careful. So since I was just doing clear, it didn't really matter if it leaked over on the sides. So I just popped this right back into the mold where it went, and it worked really well. And now I am putting the white glitter mixture on the back because the back does show as white. And now I'm attaching the posts, and it's really easy. I just do a full coat of the white glitter in the UV resin, pop the post back on, I cure it, and then I do another layer over the post backing as well. And here is what that looks like with the frog. You can see the old hearts, they're beautiful, but they don't match. These match really, really well. And I did make a third to make into a necklace. I'm using these little crimp, I don't know what you call them, like crimping findings? I don't know. Anyhow, I got this set from Temu, and it comes with the faux suede in different colors and then the little findings that go at the ends. The only thing I may change is I may put some beads on either side of the pendant so it doesn't slide around on the necklace. I haven't figured it out yet, but here they are all done, and I love the way they turned out. These are adorable, and I can't wait to wear them. Sorry for the blurry glamour shot. The next one's pretty blurry too. I'm not sure what was going on with my camera. But I hope you really like these, and I hope you learned a little bit along the way. Don't forget to watch the other videos, and have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for hopping by. I'll see you soon.